Hey, it's Thomas DeLauer with BeFit, and today I've got an awesome video for you, and I'm going to talk about a controversial issue. We're going to dive into grains, and we're going to dive into which rice is better, brown rice or white rice. We hear about it all the time. We always wonder, are grains really good for you? A lot of the vegan community will tell us that grains are perfect and we need them all the time. With a lot of the paleo community will tell us that grains are horrible and they're going to destroy everything you've worked towards. But how about we find a little bit of middle ground there? Because honestly, they have their benefits each and every way. So I want to dive into the pros and the cons of brown rice and white rice. Before I get into the intricate details, I want to drop a little bit of research on you that might be kind of interesting. According to the Harvard School of Public Health's Department of Nutrition, they took two groups of individuals. One test subject group they gave copious amounts of white rice to over a period of a month. And another group they gave a large amount of brown rice to over a period of a month. And literally, in just that 1 month's time, they found that those that consumed more white rice had literally doubled the risk of developing diabetes. Now, bear in mind, this isn't organic, good white rice. We're talking the refined, processed white rice that you normally will find at the grocery store, or maybe you'll find at a Chinese food restaurant. But nonetheless, still pretty darn interesting to know that. So let's dive right into the pros and the cons of white rice and brown rice. Now, before I go any further, I want to knock out the cons because I want to get them out there on the table and I want to know what we're looking at. So the cons of rice. You see, rice contains something called phytic acid. A phytic acid is what gives rice its structure. It's what gives it the density. So when you cook rice, it still has that firm texture to it. Well, that's because of the phytic acid. But unfortunately, that phytic acid can make it hard for you to absorb the minerals or absorb the nutrients that's in the rice in general. So when you have a hard time breaking down that phytic acid, you're not extracting really the benefits and the minerals that you really could be out of that rice. Now, the second con that I want to talk about is simply digestibility. Rice is not the easiest thing to digest. And again, it comes back to that phytic acid. It's a little bit hard for the body to break it down. Even the hydrochloric acid within the stomach has a bit of a tough time breaking it down. So those are really the immediate cons, the things that stand out immediately on why rice might be bad. Now, you can probably combat some of that by taking some digestive enzymes or taking some acidophilus, but that's not really the point here. Rice as a whole is a little bit hard to break down. Now let's look at the pros. Okay, we look at white rice, we've got a good source of minerals. We've got a good source of glucose. So we definitely have a good source of energy there. We look at brown rice. Brown rice has the husk on it, and that husk is high in selenium. Selenium is tremendous for the thyroid. And if our thyroid is healthy, then our metabolism is cranking. But one of the cool things about brown rice that people don't even know is that it has high levels of GABA, which is a neurotransmitter. So it allows you to be a little bit more relaxed. That GABA neurotransmitter is released right before you go to bed. It's what helps calm you down. It's what helps get the brain into that pattern of sleep and relaxation. Now, we all know when we're well rested, we have more energy. But when we're well rested, we also burn more fat. So in conjunction with having selenium that makes our thyroid rev up, boom, you're sleeping well and you've got your metabolism cranking. So you definitely have the perfect storm there to burn some fat. So what rice should you really consume? What's going to be the best one for you? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to shock you by saying this. I'm going to say neither. Because there's one form of rice, or really an existing form of rice, just a different way that it's prepared, that is ultimately the best. And that is sprouted rice. So forget whether you're vegan and you really love grains or you're paleo and you despise grains. I'm going to show you a way that makes them a little bit more neutral for everybody. Simply sprouting them. So if you sprout your rice, you sprout your grains, you soak it in some water for 12 hours, soak it in some water for 24 hours, it begins the sprouting process. And that sprouting process releases more minerals, it releases more nutrients. It makes them more bioavailable. But additionally, simply soaking the grains breaks down that phytic acid that we talked about. When you break down the phytic acid, it allows for you to absorb those nutrients, absorb those minerals that much better. And this goes for both white rice and brown rice. So here's the general rule of thumb I want you to follow when you're choosing rice. If you want a quicker absorbing, easier to digest rice, go for sprouted white. Go for organic sprouted white rice like basmati or jasmine. When you need a more sustained blood sugar throughout the day and you need something that's going to digest a little bit slower and maybe keep you fuller, then you're going to opt for the brown rice and you're still going to sprout that. we're gonna go for like the basmati or the jasmine brown rice. Soak it for about 12 or 24 hours and you're off to the races. So there you have it. There's a new way for you to enjoy your rice that's gonna make sure you get the minerals out of it, make sure you get the energy that you need, and not wreak havoc on your digestive system and cause the inflammation that's gonna slow you down. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.